Hi everyone, my name is Jameson, and this is my very first Amazon.com video review. Hopefully the first of many. I'd appreciate any feedback or comments that you have after the video, so without further ado, let's get right into it. This is the Blue Yeti microphone. It is about under $100 most of the time. Prices seem to fluctuate. It does have a Pro version, but don't assume that, oh, I need the Pro and everything else is garbage. That's not quite the case. I've had mostly good experiences with this microphone, and none of the problems I've had with it have been due to quality. It's been very good. It records up to 48 kilohertz and 16 bits, so not bad at all. The Pro does do considerably higher at 192 kilohertz and 24 bit, but honestly, I think this is just a great mic if you're streaming, if you are mixing video, or on Skype. It's just such a good mic for that. So what I'm going to do is cover a little bit about the outside, and I'm also going to give you my pros and cons at the end of the video. So frequently throughout the video, I may be referencing the box. I'm not going to do an unboxing video because we've all seen styrofoam, and it's not that exciting, I understand. But the box does have some very interesting graphics on it that may be helpful, like this image of the tri-capsule array. That allows you to do some pretty interesting things, but I'll make sure to get images to throw up and show you that. Throw up. Anyway, I'm not mature. So, on the front of the microphone, we have our mute button, and that's pretty self-explanatory. That stops the audio from going through. And they actually did the mute button pretty well. A lot of my mics, when you hit the mute button, it introduces a very loud pop into the signal. This didn't seem to do that, and I really like that. This volume knob is not the gain. The gain is actually on the back, but this volume knob is for the zero latency monitoring on the bottom there. You can actually plug in a pair of headphones and monitor without any latency what you're saying. So a lot of people do seem to prefer doing this through their computer, but if you really want to shave the milliseconds and you want to hear it true, you do have that option. I've actually recorded using that 3.5 headphone jack before, so it's nice to have those options. Turning it around here, we have the back, and this whole review is being recorded from the microphone itself, just to give you an idea of the audio quality. It's in cardioid mode right now, so I apologize if it trails off and on throughout the video since I'm turning the microphone. So you have your gain switch, which I'm not sure the exact stats on how high that goes or how low. I'll throw them up in the video, and man, I say throw up a lot. I'm apologizing for that right now. You can see there's 4 recording patterns, and I'm going to go ahead and switch this to stereo. And stereo, pretty self-explanatory. You can do left, and I cannot snap with my left hand, and you can do right. So this is cool and just makes you sound a little more omniscient. There are other applications for it as well. Personally, I do not use this very much, just because mono seems to work just fine for me. We all heard omni, or the cardioid, so I'm going to go to omnidirectional. Omnidirectional picks up everything equally. That entire array is being put to work. So if you wanted to record the ambiance of a room or a forest or something, you could do that. So you're probably hearing not a forest or deer frolicking right now, but you could probably hear the fans on my computer, my TV humming a little bit. So omnidirectional does have its uses, but again, such a versatile microphone. You can use this for so many things. This is bidirectional. I actually used this last week for an interview with someone that would be picking up the front and the back as well. So I'm at the front of the microphone, and now I'm at the side, and now I'm at the back of it. So you can see that it definitely does filter out the noise on the sides. And I thought it was just I thought it was a name only, pretty much. I thought it was just going to be omnidirectional, basically. But it really does matter, and it filters out a lot of the side. And I thought that was really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it back to omnidirectional, and then we can get into the pros and cons. Okay, so my very first pro is that it's easy to set up and it's easy to use. This microphone, after getting a new cable for it, which I'll cover in my cons, worked absolutely fine with XSplit, Audition, Audacity. I can't even think of another program that I use it with. Premiere, I think I recorded directly into that. Sony Vegas, I did that. It just works fantastic, especially with Skype, and it's just done such a good job. You plug it in, and it just goes. That's Windows and Mac, and I'm sure Linux has a pain-free experience as well. And if it isn't, I'll test it shortly. I'll put that in the description of this video. But yeah, it's been so painless, and all you need is in the microphone itself. So if you were to buy a similar mic for about $100, let's say an SM58, you would need to buy some kind of preamp. And that's going to run you, you can buy one for as low as $30. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. That's just more equipment, though, that you need to use. Everything you need is inside, so it's uncluttered and inexpensive, just adding more value to the microphone. It's a really nice thing about it. I would say the other pro is that it's aesthetically pleasing. It just looks very nice, especially if you're a Mac user. I know one Mac fanboy who loves this microphone because it's just that nice brushed silver, and just having this set on a desk, just it's kind of a conversation piece almost. And quality obviously is a pro. It seems to do a great job being so versatile, but I'm sure you guys can already assume that. So let's get on to the dark side and cover the cons. Alright guys, so I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I did have troubles with the audio cable. Nothing wrong with the connections on the microphone itself. That's one thing I have with it. It wasn't the microphone's fault. I'm sure quality assurance is much lower for the cable than it is the actual microphone. So not much of a con there. The second con I had, or the first real con I guess you would say, is the bass. The bass, to me, is not very useful. This is probably not going to be an issue for some users out there, but the problem for me is that I bought this for PC use. I'm constantly talking into it and typing on my keyboard or clicking on my mouse. And despite the bass having these nice foam feet, the bass picks up a lot of that noise, and it makes it into the final product or the phone call, and that can annoy people. So I would say that if you're going to use this at your PC while typing, or using some kind of peripheral on your desk or something, buy a stand for it. Now it uses that 5/8 inch threaded stand, so it should be pretty easy. Those are quite cheap, and you can use them for any microphone. But that leads me to another downside, is that once you screw these off, and you can take the bass off completely, and then screw the bass in there, if you don't have an elbow for your 5/8 stand, it looks kind of like a microphone spear, and it's a little awkward to maneuver. It's not very versatile in that way. So I'd recommend buying a simple 5/8 inch elbow for your mic stand if you're going to do that, or buy the shock mount, the spider mount for the or the Yeti series. That's going to cost you like $50 to $60, but if maneuverability is really huge for you, I recommend dropping the few extra dollars just so you can turn it a little easier. But that, again, is personal preference, and you don't necessarily need it on a mic stand. If you're doing vocals or anything, you can just completely skip that issue because you're not going to be using anything on the table or anything. Completely skip that. So the very last, I guess you would call it, con is kind of a blessing. Well, not a blessing. It's a curse and a blessing, as you would say. It picks up significantly more noise than other microphones that I have, other cardioid microphones that I have. Now, that's nice because you don't have to be in a very specific spot for that mic to pick up your voice. You can kind of move around a little bit. You're not as restricted. That's obviously not a good thing because you're picking up more information than you need. Your signal-to-noise ratio becomes closer. So that, I would say, is counterbalanced in the fact that it does so many other things. Bidirectional, omnidirectional stereo. It has so many capabilities. So being able to do all those and doing a cardioid mode, it sounds pretty decent, is actually a plus. It really depends what you're using this microphone for. So that would be the only last con I have. I guess we'll end the video, guys. Thanks for watching. This is my very first video, so I'm a little nervous, excited to see how the reception is, if there's reception. Let me know what you thought of this video and the microphone. And again, I'm Jameson, and I'll catch you next time.
Possibility. The love of our life could so easily have been someone else. It is random and accidental, haphazard and unsystematic. That which we feel for one person, clinging on to the delusion of destiny, could so easily be felt for a million people. Should the timings and the meetings and the mutual readiness have coalesced at some other time in some other place, should someone else have accepted us or rejected us, then everything would have been different. And once we know this, we know that all love is a lie. Not honesty but deception, not heroism but cowardice, an unspoken agreement of mutual consolidation and compromise, a shield from the possibility and a bed in which to sleep. Nothing more than that. But I do still miss it. Right, so here's the three microphones, and pretty much this is the order in which they've been ranked. It is a price thing. Not a lot of difference between these two, and if I think you are on a budget and you were just going to be recording game audio, then probably this is a decent one to go to if you're tight for cash and maybe the money could be spent elsewhere. It sounds okay, maybe a little bit thinner, maybe not the richness that certainly this one has, but you can sort of tell the difference. I mean, the time I would go for this one is if you maybe there's got to be more than one of you recording from the same mic, solely because you've got the different options within here of how you're going to listen to that one.
Again, with that one though, it's going to be very unlikely for somebody who's doing maybe two-person gameplay in the same room that you would benefit from it, because it only records from the front and back, and normally it would be in front of your monitor, so unless somebody was sitting behind your monitor and it was maybe suspended between the two of you, you probably wouldn't see the benefit of it. If you're side by side, it'll move out. And
I mean, that's for gaming, but if you were maybe doing something else, you could have it sat in the middle of a table for a podcast or something like that. It can pick up a bit more. Its sort of field is a bit bigger. So sort of losing these two now, and we'll sort of bring in the star of the show. Really, I thought much better. I mean, you've got the control of the gain and you've got the control of the volume. We've not tried it yet with the headset in, but obviously that's something else that's sort of it's got anyway, even if you don't use it. But definitely no, it's a much sort of richer sound. It's just much nicer. So yeah, if you've got £100, obviously it's something you can get. It's going to be about sort of 40-50 quid more expensive than the other ones. eBay you probably get cheaper. Yeah, I mean, I think with this you seem to get a lot of people who I think I'll turn my hand at making videos and they don't stick to it, so they stick these up on eBay. So I'd maybe have a look on there. But yeah, this is sort of what we think. This one definitely beats the rest, but between the Yeti Ice and the normal sort of standard Snowball, really it doesn't seem to make too much of a difference what you want to do. If you've got, obviously, just for gaming content, I'd probably go for the cheaper one, and like I say, spend your money elsewhere, maybe keep it to one side, and then if you think this is something you're going to stick with, maybe pick up the Yeti rather than the Snowball. But no, I hope someone's found this interesting. If you've got any questions, obviously the comments below. But yeah, that's it from me. I don't know if you've got anything to add there.
No, I think you've covered everything fairly succinctly there.
No, thanks a lot. Yeah, cheers.
Thank you.
See you later. Bye.
Hi, it's Dave from Tech Show UK, and I'm here with the Blue Yeti Whiteout Edition microphone. The Blue Yeti is a driverless plug-and-play USB microphone with support for PC and Mac. This particular version I have today is the whiteout edition, but it is also available in blackout, silver and cool grey. Other versions include the Yeti Studio and Pro, which incidentally does need an easy to install driver download and also features analog XLR output for external compatibility. The Yeti features a proprietary tri-capsule array that works with 4 pickup patterns which can be adjusted on the back of the microphone to suit. These are cardioid, which is perfect for podcasts, game streaming, vocal performances, voiceovers and instruments. Cardioid mode records sound sources that are directly in front of the microphone, delivering rich, full-bodied sound. Bidirectional, which records from both the front and rear of the microphone, which is good for recording a duet or a 2-person interview. Omnidirectional, which picks up sound equally from all around the mic. It's best used in situations when you want to capture the ambience of being there, like recording a band's live performance or a multi-person podcast or a conference call. Stereo, which uses both the left and right channels to capture a wide, realistic sound image, which is ideal for recording acoustic guitar or choir. The Yeti also features a gain wheel on the back, which adjusts the level of sound the microphone picks up. Looking at the front of the Yeti, there is a mute button, which has a red LED, and when pressed to mute, it flashes continuously. Below that is the headphone volume dial. This works in conjunction with the provided headphone jack on the bottom of the microphone, which is used to check voice levels with 0 time latency. The desktop stand features a full metal construction with foam on the bottom for absorption. The plastic wheels mount the microphone to the stand and can easily be tightened or loosened to adjust the angle of the microphone. The microphone has a sample rate of 48 kHz, a bit rate of 16-bit, a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, a max SPL of 120 decibels. The headphone amp has an impedance of 16 ohms, a frequency response of 15 Hz to 22 kHz, and a signal to noise at 100 decibels. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please consider subscribing, and if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, a thumbs down. Also comment below and tell me what you thought of the quality of the audio in this video. It was made using this very mic. I've been Dave, and I'll see you in the next video.
About a foot away from the microphone, and my voice is extremely clear. I'm now going to move away as far as my headphone cable will allow. It's now right at the end. I'm about 5 feet away, and the microphone is picking me up pretty well. Obviously, if I move this up and down a bit, I haven't actually got it in the optimum position, but I'm sure once you have, you'll be able to pick up pretty much any sound, because right now I can even hear the cars outside the main road, even with my window shut. So that's how sensitive it is. It's an excellent microphone. It will be good for anything, voicing, instruments, podcasts. It really is very, very multifunctional, and I highly recommend it. Thank you.
Hola, este es un pequeño vídeo para que podáis apreciar las diferencias entre los 4 modos que tiene el micrófono. Esperemos que Amazon no le quite mucha calidad al vídeo. De momento me encuentro en el modo denominado estéreo. Este micrófono tiene 4 modos. El modo estéreo lo que nos permite es diferenciar entre las 4 direcciones que reconoce. Es decir, en este momento yo me encuentro hablando delante del micrófono, sin embargo me estoy moviendo hacia la izquierda. Ahora estoy a la izquierda del micrófono. Y de la misma forma me estoy moviendo hacia la derecha, que es donde me encuentro ahora. De igual manera, el micrófono es capaz de reconocer la posición detrás de él. Como bien digo, este es el modo estéreo. El siguiente modo que tiene es el denominado omnidireccional. En el modo omnidireccional, independientemente de donde yo me encuentre hablando, vosotros lo tenéis que estar escuchando exactamente igual. Es decir, yo ahora mismo estoy detrás del micrófono, a la izquierda, y vosotros no tenéis que notar diferencia. El siguiente modo que tiene el micrófono se denomina Cardio ID. En el modo Cardio ID se escucha bien siempre que se hable delante del micrófono. Es decir, yo ahora me estoy moviendo ligeramente hacia la izquierda del micrófono y habrá un momento en el que se deje de escuchar satisfactoriamente. Si hablo detrás, por ejemplo, no debería escucharse bien. Sin embargo, vuelvo delante y ya se escucha perfectamente. Finalmente, el último modo que tiene es el denominado bidireccional. En el modo bidireccional, como su nombre indica, lo que tenemos son 2 direcciones, es decir, delante del micrófono y detrás del micrófono. Es decir, ahora mismo me encuentro delante del micrófono, ahora mismo estoy detrás del micrófono. Sin embargo, si me coloco a la derecha, por ejemplo, o a la izquierda, no debería escucharse bien. Otra cosa que a mí me gustaría destacar de este micrófono es que, como podéis apreciar, apenas genera o no genera directamente ruido de fondo. Es un micrófono muy estable ya que tiene una buena base de apoyo, y finalmente os invito a que leáis el resto de review que he hecho de este producto si es que no lo habéis hecho ya. Un saludo.
Hi guys, so this is my take on the Blue Yeti microphone. As you can see, it's nice clear audio quality. It's great. I've got a stabilizer here for it, and I've got this Rode arm to go along with it. But this is the device itself. I've got my muffler because I do YouTube videos. I'm a YouTube content creator, but it's got a few settings, and it's got some more on the back here, so you can set it into what mode you want. And like I've it in this one generally, but there are a few different other options. You can find out what works best for you. It's good clear audio quality. You aren't got to be right at the side of the mic. You can be further away from the mic and it still picks you up fine. I need the arm because I need it to be adjusted to be a little bit close to my mouth. You can have it on your desk. It depends on what you're using it for. If you're just using it for like business conference calls, it'll be absolutely fine as well. I use it for gaming content creation, so I've got to make sure that I'm heard over my content and lower my content down. And it's good, clean, clear. I've been using it for a long time. Highly recommended. Give it a try. See what you think for yourself. It's awesome. Cheers, guys.